Got this Ford Ranger in with some transmission issues with the 6-speed auto. I'm going to show you where I'm at the moment, and what I want to show you something that most mechanics that don't know these autos, what they overlook and how to check for them and what to look for. So if we just fast forward, and we've had the pan off and we've removed the valve body. So that is the transmission with half of the guts out of it. Just got a drip tray there just to catch the oil. That is the transmission pan. That is the valve body. That was inside there that I've ripped out. And I've also taken the lead frame or the TCM off it, which is here. But the main thing I wanted to touch base on are these solenoids. So you've got 7 of them. They are all in regards to your shift solenoids. So what happens is you've got a bunch of moving parts in this section here, and they correlate with here, and these will work within a certain parameter and range, and then they will engage or disengage and pretty much make the shifts happen at certain points. And this is like the mechanical brain that tells the auto how to work. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't know how to test on these is how to actually test the solenoids to know if they fail. So what I'm going to do first is undo all these T27 bolts, take this retainer off, which is one long plate, and then one at a time pop these solenoids out. Do not mix them up. They look the same, but they are not, and I'll show you why. So undone all those T27 bolts, pull this up, get a flat blade, and just pop them out. So pull them out, laid them out the exact way that they came out. Do not mix them up. I will show you why they're different. For starters, you got brown and black different snouts. They are different size. And then the other thing, this is what a lot of mechanics don't know what to look for, but on these solenoids, they are numbered. So if you look next to that, it will be very faint. See right there, between that hole in the plastic and that QR code, see the number 3? That is a brown number 3. Now they go all the way from 1 to 5. So when it comes to ordering solenoids for these, if you get, so let's just say this one is a number 3. If you get a number 1, it's going to work at a different rate. The number that's etched on the solenoid is the bandwidth of how far the parameter will work within that solenoid. So if you've got a chart that's 1 to 5 and you've got a 3, it's designed to work in this area. Whereas if you have a solenoid that's 1, it's designed to work in this area instead. And if you mix these up, sometimes it can relearn, the computer can relearn and make it work, but then there's a lot of times where it can't. And then your shifts will be up to shit. They'll be delayed, or they'll be harsh, or they'll be soft. Something won't be right, and you may prematurely stuff up the box. So the way to test these solenoids, it's not just as simple as give them 12 volts and then just see if they turn on or off. What we need to look for is vacuum and how much they seal, and also how quick they respond. So the things that we've seen over the years that the problems happen with these when they start going to shit is when they get powered up, instead of just dumping or vacuuming as strong and as quick as possible, they'll be delayed and they'll be slow. So I'm going to show you my setup. You can buy a setup through a company called Sonax out of the States. They sell a complete setup to test these solenoids specifically, but I think it would end up costing about $1,500 to $2,000. I, for one, did not have time. And 2, I could not justify it because I understand what the setup's like, and I was like, I can make that setup myself. So I'm going to show you what I bought and how it's going to work. It's going to do the exact same thing that this special kit is going to do, and it cost me about $202 or $250. So I have a cheap vacuum pump off Amazon. This cost me $80. And then I bought a vacuum gauge kit off Amazon for $20. So basically all we want to check is we want vacuum. It's good. So now we need to adapt this to test them. So you can buy this kit. You can buy it pretty much anywhere. There's a lot of people that stock it in Australia. This is the early part. That this is half the cost. This thing costs about $130, I think. And it is a test to literally test these solenoids. Comes with 3 of these little cups, and they are designed to suit the snouts of them. So, for example, the blue one suits a black snout solenoid. Clips on and seals it. With a fitting, you screw into there, and then what you do is you're checking vacuum on the solenoid, and then what you're going to do is you're going to send 12 volts to the solenoid while you've got vacuum to it and seeing how it reacts. So we have our vacuum pump hooked up to the gauge, hooked up to the coupling, hooked up to the solenoid, and we have a plug connected to a battery ready for us to activate and charge up that solenoid. I've just gotten one of these plugs out of an old lead frame that I just smashed out here, so I could make an easy connection to test the solenoids. But basically what we're doing is we're checking the vacuum, and then we're going to check it when we energize it, see how much vacuum it gets. It should get close to the green on this gauge, and then you want to remove the power and see how quickly it reacts. because it's not just to check how much it seals, but it's also the reaction timing that we're checking as well. So I'm going to chuck the negative on. That on my gauge is good. So, and how quick it reacts, to me that solenoid is good. So now I'm going to do this again on the rest of the solenoids and then check and see, because I can nearly guarantee there's going to be one that's failed. And also when you do this setup, make sure you have the polarity set right. These do need, you can see right there on the back there, it's tiny, but you need positive on the right side, negative on the left. And I want to show you, so far we have one dud solenoid. I've gone and checked this brown one, and I'm going to check this one. I'm going to show you now what the difference is. So I'm going to energise it and watch the gauge. It reacts quick, but it's only getting half the vacuum. And I also thought this is worth mentioning as well. The difference between the brown and the black solenoids as well is the way that they operate when they get energized. The brown ones are usually open, and then when you energize them, they seal up, and that's when you need full vacuum. Whereas the black ones are the opposite. They stay sealed, and then once they get energized, they open. So you can see I have a black snout solenoid on now, and it's got vacuum on it. And as soon as I energize it, it dumps it. Just another thing to make these transmissions a little bit more complicated. But out of all of these solenoids, one has failed. So we will be replacing this one. It is very hard to see this number, but it is a brown number 3. So that is what I need to order. And then I'll put the solenoids back on the valve body with the new lead frame and put this all back together, fill it up with oil, and that should fix his problems. But I just wanted to quickly do this video on the solenoids. This is probably more for people that run workshops or want to try and look after these 6R80 transmissions as well, and they don't know what to test for, because from my understanding, a lot of people don't actually know that you need to check these solenoids the way that we do. And the problem that happens with these solenoids when they start to go shit is your shifts will get a bit shit, but you not necessarily get any engine codes, and it'll just prematurely wear out the box as well. So I hope that this video actually helped you out if you wanted to make a setup and knew how to test the solenoids and what to look out for. Arguably, you don't need a vacuum pump. You could probably do it with a hand vacuum pump as well, but it will just take you a long time. Much easier if you just have an electric vacuum pump, and they're so accessible nowadays. Like I said, I got one off Amazon delivered on a Sunday for $80. So otherwise, you can just contact that company, Sonax, and they can sell you the same flashy sort of version of that kit for like $1,500. There, hopefully that helped you out, and that gives you a bit more of an understanding on how these solenoids work in these boxes. I'm going to go back to getting this thing fixed and getting it back on the road so he can go back home. And until then, see you in the next